Don't you hate it when you join a Zoom meeting and there's more AI note takers in that call than actual human beings? Seems like we're going the wrong direction when it comes to our online presence and how we're communicating with our customers and employees and team members. In this video, I'm going to share with you Granola, the AI note taker that I've been using for about a year and is a complete game changer when it comes to recording, taking notes, and summarizing action items for next steps for you, people on your calls, and your team members in your company. Hey, I'm Craig Hewitt. Welcome back to 100 Days of AI. Let's jump into Granola. So here on the Granola.ai site, their tagline is the AI notepad for people in back-to-back meetings. Download for Mac. And this is really the key. Granola doesn't join your calls like Fireflies or Fathom might. It just records on your computer. So it's totally transparent and invisible to anyone on your calls. Now, I do disclose at the beginning of every call, hey, is it okay if I record this call? Most people say yes because it's just really commonplace, but it's just a courtesy I do. But you don't have to, but I think it's just a good practice. So you would download this. Pricing for Granola, it has free plan up to 25 meetings, which I think is really generous. And then for $20 a month or so, they have individual and business plans. My company, we all use this. It's great. Even though things like Zoom and Google Meets have these, there's some things about Granola that I think does a better job than the built-in tools from Google Meets and Zoom. So here on the marketing site, and I'll show you the tool in a second, but it transcribes the meeting, but it also lets you take notes. So you can take notes here, and then when it goes through and does the summary later, it will use your notes as kind of highlights for the summary and action items that it wants to have, okay? Check out Granola.ai. But now I'm gonna show you a call that I did earlier today, the notes that I took and the summary that it created, so you can just see for yourself. Okay, so here's an example of a call that I did earlier today with a YouTube consultant. And so recorded this and talked about kind of like my content strategy and focus, my 100 Days of AI challenge. It's really hard work. And so we talked about, do I need to continue this? The short answer is yes. Some reference channels. And the darker parts here are where I took notes. And so we talked about like, hey, doing listicles versus, hey, this is the one thing you need to know. So instead of like a listicle being like, hey, Claude and Gemini and Perplexity and Manus, say like, Manus is the only AI tool you need to know. So that's what we talked about. Talked about how long the hook should be. So the hook is the very first part of a YouTube video. Anyways, these are things that I took notes on. And the light gray parts are notes that Granola took. And so it just kind of gave me a summary. You can also go in and look at, so that toggles off the automatic suggestions and notes. And you can take a look at the enhanced notes here too. You can also take a look at the whole transcript, right? So it transcribes the whole thing. And down here at the bottom, you can say like, hey, take a look at the whole transcript. So you could like share this with somebody. If you wanted, you can just copy the text, you can send an email, or you can connect it to Slack. You can also connect Granola to a lot of your CRM. So if you're a salesperson, you might have Granola running, and then when it's done, create a summary like this, or pipe this into like a custom GPT or something to provide follow-ups from sales calls, okay? So Granola, really cool, recording on your computer, then integrated with a lot of tools that you're using to go do stuff with it later, right? Because what you don't want to do is just have a bunch of notes that you never reference. So the real power in these tools is that they're connected to other tools that you're using like a CRM or a Slack or Notion or Basecamp or something where your work actually happens, okay? Now, I'm gonna fire up a Google Meets call and show you what Granola looks like in recording that call because it's really transparent, but for me as a user, I can tell that it's happening. Cool. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to the browser here and go to Google Meets. We use Google Meets instead of Zoom. I just like it better. So I'm gonna start an instant meeting and it's just me. I'm kind of lonely here. Oh my goodness, I need to select the right camera. And you can see here, oh goodness, can you not see this? Well, it's just outside the window, but it says meeting detected. Do you want to take notes? And I'm just gonna say yes. Cool. And so I have this little note-taking pane that has popped up, and I'll just bring this over here. Okay, so I'm in Google Meets, and this is the Granola window in my computer. So I have Google Meets, and I'm able to look at the people on the call like this, and then I can give this a title, and I can like take notes right here. Cool. And so you can see down here the little squiggly saying that it's picking up my microphone. And if someone else was talking, it would be doing this too. If you want to pause this or stop, you can do that here too. And you can see the transcript as it's going. Cool. And so when you're done with the call, you can just end the call. And if we pull Granola back up, it's going to summarize this in just a second. And we'll say generate notes. It does this automatically. It might take a minute. And because I'm like recording, it might be some funniness. So it's analyzing the transcript and it's going to create some notes based on this, all automatically. And this just pops up after a minute or so normally. So I think a lot of folks are using AI note takers. The reason I like Granola so much is the transparency of it. You know, it doesn't have a person in the meeting. It's not like a sidebar thing. It's really transparent. And it has a lot of integrations, right? So it's taken these notes. You can see the notes 1 and notes 2 are the notes that I took. And so the rest of it is like automatic notes that it's created. And so you can share this. It can have a link, all these kinds of things. Okay, so real quick, I just wanted to show you a tool that I'm using and getting a ton of value from in the AI space for your productivity. Give it a try. I think you'll really like it. Granola.ai, pretty cheap. And really, if you're struggling with like taking notes of productivity and doing things with the action items from your meetings, again, whether that's in a sales conversation with a partner, with team members, with employees, with your boss, really, I think a note taker is really good. Granola, by far my favorite. I've used them all. Granola, by far my favorite. Definitely worth checking out. And so if you're like, Craig, wow, this is really great. I love the idea of Granola and recording my meetings, and then going and doing something with that later. Check out this video over here where I talk about Lindy AI and AI agents that you can create with it with just a few words.